Well, hello, what's new in my life? I'll keep it short. I still seem to sound plugged up. I tried to get a video out on the Spencer carbine rifle Civil War. I did get it uploaded onto Rumble. YouTube didn't like me reading letters over the internet. That's why they pulled down the one strike not allowed to upload for 1 week. I was reading Hathaway's letters as well as a few others. They said it was cyberbullying. Bleeding. Anyway, that happened a week ago, a little over a week ago. Smile, you idiot. And then I had a nosebleed. We had to go to the Howard Memorial Hospital. They treated me like a, I don't know what. It was just like they're all scattered brained. Anyway, the doctor was only in for a few minutes to run a rocket rhino up my nose. This one here. Nancy was not allowed to come in, and the guy said, go to your room, and this kind of thing. Normally, that kind of stuff, I don't handle well. I just walk out or give the person a knuckle sandwich and call it a day. However, I was in an emergency. So I made a kind of a big comment to Adventist Health on Facebook, and adding other people were adding their problems with Howard. Otherwise, what else is new? I learned that Raymond von Brito, a friend of mine, brother of my good friend Roland Brito, in Germany, was murdered along with his 14-year-old daughter. They were tortured and murdered. Now, whether this gets censored on this ridiculous YouTube channel, I have no idea. Other news was in an email chain of events. Hello. An Amy lady, I don't really know her, but committed suicide and brought to my attention, and a few others have as well, simply because of prescription medications such as amitriptyline, nortriptyline, which was a key factor in me sparking up a message about it all, why the violence in the United States is high and all that, because of prescription drugs like that, as well as bad food and stress and people getting stressed out over so many things. From what I can observe, I'm just an observer, right? So I observe and report. And I do have a mailing list of 1,500 journalists, and I do email them, not all of them at one time. It's a horrendous task, but I will. One of the email actives are CBS, Fox, Tucker Carlson, who broke the story on Canada. I sent him that whole pile of info, and he broke the story on Trudeau. Plus a few others. I've always been notorious to be a fighter, and done so during the court cases I was in. With full press covering everything, almost every week for a couple of years with gun control case, as well as recent stuff. I keep them posted, so don't really mess with me, okay? Thank you. Other than that, I was fascinated by Bob Greener's unique way and presentations on his Fix Fukushima presentations and his science presentations. A real pioneer, a whole bright new light in the scientific world on advanced technologies. Good to see Bob Greener again on YouTube. Should I mention about the uraninite sample? It was indeed reduced down a lot, and other samples were diminishing as well in his laboratory. And that was analyzed by scientist Steve Coburn, Analytical Laboratories. Also, there's other analytical laboratories that analyze certain other samples not related to radioactivity but to oil. I do have all these posted on SlideShare. Now, this radioactive stuff, I mentioned in comment 2, Bob, about does ordinary matter have small amounts of antimatter in it? Like heavy water has, well, ordinary water has heavy water, or tritium, which is another form of material. And radiation reduction through VLF radio transmission. I look like a dingbat on this. I got the lighting haywire today, so anyway. I normally act silly, and I'm missing doing that. I'm feeling like my nose will bleed again or something like that. Or whatever. Come on, John, don't be such a damn neurotic. Which I am. Hi, doctor. Yeah, I did see a doctor today. He helped me pull out the rhino rocket. That sounds like a new product, doesn't it? Rhino rocket for you. Probably better than butt plugs. I always love that eBay message. Hi, John. They wanted your comment on the butt plug. Oh, I did do it. It got off, I think it got pushed off Face Funbook. You know how the restrictions are these days. Everybody's gone nuts. Everybody's got, you know what kind of brain. And other problems. It's just like it's going to explode, I think. Oh, will this get censored or deleted or striked by YouTube? I have no idea, and I don't give a flying you know what. Because I can always go to Rumble or ByteShoot, get messages out of other hosting channels. But anyway, the uraninite sample, I believe there was other samples too, and I have to reflect upon very strongly. Okay, Dr. Harold Wilson from Defense Region Established Pacific Canadian Government, and his comments about radioactive energy being transmutated and transported into samples with the interaction of the electromagnetic fields. I wish the hell that those tapes weren't a matter of national security, which they are, probably still. And I have all that in writing from Member of Parliament Chuck Cook, who's trying to get all that information for me and was told to limit his involvement with the Defense Department of Canada. Anyway, I don't know why, but some people like to play secret squirrel. I personally don't have no interest in that nonsense or this garbage secret nonsense junk. I never did. I think I might have signed some contracts with those restrictions, but after a while I just throw it on the internet or talk about it on radio or somewhere, or TV show. Anyway, no secret squirrel. Although I claim to have a secret squirrel channel, Carla P. Connections Rothschilds, Klingon Princess, blah blah blah. I do that just to throw everybody off. Oh, to not pick my brain and not just consider me a loose cannon. Whatever you want, I don't care. Don't worship me and don't compare me to Tesla. I have no interest in being compared to those folks. Okay? Don't call me a doctor. I'm just another stupid human being on a ridiculous little planet that was formed by the sun. A long time ago. The galaxy was young. Alrighty. I think the most important thing is people keep happy and positive. Come on. Get with the program. Be happy. Sways around all these restrictions. How my baggy eyes doing today? I don't know. Flying. Oh, excuse me. I didn't say anything. Good to see Timmy Ventura publishing his videos as well. And yes, there is an interaction between VLF and the hydrogen line band 1420, roughly in that area. Kilo megacycles or a gig and a half or whatever you want to call it. And that was also observed by Dr. Robert Chan. As discussed in Los Angeles with co-producer Star Trek Kirk R. Thatcher and others down there. When we talked about this stuff, we had little meetings for producer Chris Carter of X-Files. I never met Chris Carter. I only met Gene Roddenberry one time. I was in Vancouver, but we would talk about all this stuff. You know how things go, passing information. That's when the interesting work of Dr. Yeo came up on his Baser. Not a laser, Baser, using coherent boson particles to smash up radioactive material, which seem to have disappeared off the internet. A lot of things do. I think Dr. Franklin E. Mead's patent is slowly dissolving away. I found out it was being bought up by IBM years ago. We're talking about 1996, 100 years ago. Come on. Anyway, I was always fascinated by controlling or using radioactive material, since I always had a radioactive source in my infamous Hutchison effect. Ah, da, 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 da. Oh no, what the hell is that? Anyway, yeah, and so I'm trying to answer some questions here, so that interests me. I understand exactly what I'm doing. I understand what I'm doing with a high voltage direct current, okay, and microwaves. So and man, it does work. So I'm trying to get more capacitors, more in the line of direct current, low inductance, 500 joules, these 25,000 volts low inductance types, if anybody has them. It's always vintage stuff, you know. I'm trying to find it hard. So I was at a scrapyard, found some vintage things, but not what I'm looking for. In that regard to high voltage capacitor discharge, I don't see why the U.S. Pentagon doesn't just give me free access to a naval yard and old stuff. But why they don't? Because they have rules and regulations. Also, they have to go through certain procedures, as I found out in Canada, through DREP, Defense Canada, and you have to go through certain procedures to get this stuff. And it wound up at Uncle Pete's place, Satellite Electronics on Main, and that's where I got it from. And they would give me info where it probably was disposed of. It's all disposable for more money and contracts and newer stuff, basically all it is. I wonder if I got some kind of disease from that hospital. So I didn't want to do a video with a rhino plug up my nose. I was going to say something else, which could have been interesting as well, couldn't it? Or as kinky, sexy people that love that kind of thing. The Ravens are still happy. They're always talking to me. Hot wise down here, it's about mid-90s, 100 degrees, something like that. Not too bad. I've been machining parts and pieces today and restoring the goodies I got from the scrapyard. Let's see what else is new. I was wandering off all over the place. I don't know. Well, who cares? But it's good to have scientists that worked with us in the Gulf of Mexico, as well as with the uranium, that have before and after testing done, so you know that's documented, which it was. But I want to see and wish Bob Greener and his group of people do his stuff. He's presenting his stuff. Ken Shoulders presented his stuff. It was not internet, it was in person with politicians. I was there on a number of occasions. They wrote stuff down, but you never, you never hear from them again. From what I understand from Ken, when we're hanging out together. And interestingly enough, only 25 miles away, Ken lived in Ukiah, here, where I visited him with Dr. Wood, who's another brilliant scientist, by the way. We stayed overnight at his home in Ukiah. It's only 25 miles that way on State Street. Was Ken's place. Then he moved somewhere else. I forget exactly the address, but anyway. And Dr. Rauscher, she stayed with us for a month in Gold Beach, Oregon. I'm gonna say, I'm thinking about. I have to admit, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but I've met a hell of a lot of people. I guess a lot of people have adventures like this. I don't know. But the main thing, stay young. Stay young. I haven't talked in a long time like this either. Oh yeah, the vintage Spencer rifle. I did find it. Did a video. I had to upload it to Rumble because my YouTube was gone. So I took all the videos and I've managed to put them on private. They're all there, but you never know when YouTube's going to attack you again. And I wonder how Mr. Smith, I presume, is doing. A little blowhard English tart that took the audio out of my old UFO footage video thing I did a long time ago. They like doing it. They'll take the audio and say, oh, look, this is... Oh, it's done. Hey, Mr. Smith, I presume. Do you care to come visit and bend over? Spread those chops. Spread those chops. Oh, this is hilarious. You gotta keep laughing your head off until you kick the bucket or go to the final frontier. Oh, my baby, take your vitamins. Coming from deep space, the John, me, Klingon, Baroness, Princess, Klingon, John Kenneth Hutchison. I am an alien traversing the universe on the wave of electromagnetic energy. I could start a whole new bloody cult like this, couldn't I? Like the other nutcases, like anonymous or whatever you call it. We are anonymous. We all got the secret squirrel stuff to share to you. And I could say I am John, the great nose one, the Rhino Rocket Man. I am the Rhino Rocket Man. I am the Rhino Rocket Girl. Depending on my mood. I'm the Rhino Rocket Girl. I'm from deep space and I got something to tell you. Let's just sit down and spread our chops and have a good talk. I think what I'm doing with these videos is psychological therapeutic, I think. And what's the time in 2? Serious. So I get this chance to act ridiculous, making these ridiculous videos. I don't know. I'm just sharing with unknown people. I have no idea who you folks are. You could be Granny in an insane asylum or old age home or whoever. You could be anybody you want to be on the internet. Oh well. So, see, Timmy Ventura interviewed Jack Safrati. He's a good friend of Ian Gaz, my ex-girlfriend, who's in Austria. We're still good friends. And I wonder how Dr. Margarita's doing. So I'm going to tell you something. You're looking in all these places for information. You keep missing the target. And that target is Dr. Peter Kosinig's research papers, which you haven't even heard about. So hopefully somebody will find those research papers. He was dedicated to nuclear ether oscillations and wrote many papers, which unfortunately after he passed away were simply forgotten about. I was there too. I returned to the house in Salzburg with Jan Gazda, stayed with Dr. Margarita, and we went to the home to retrieve Dr. Margarita's medical practice material. And it was kind of in and out fast. The windows were open. It was nighttime. The snow was coming through the windows. Talk about a bloody, effing, freaky situation. So we did get Dr. Margarita's stuff out of her own home. I'm telling you, this is really a nightmarish situation. This is 1993. And we got that out, and that's Peter's stuff. I don't know what happened to it, but it was so fast. My God, it was in. Then we went where to? Forget another Austrian city besides Vienna and Salzburg. Graz City. Got to see the old library there where Michael Marinoff was thrown out the window or whatever that was all about. I don't know. It goes on and on like an old drum. I did get to see the governor and the governess. But that's Yin's friend. She was a very famous movie maker, filmmaker. But she always liked her own unique secret squirrel world. So I get her on Entertainment Tonight was an effort of many people to talk about her production made in '93 on UFOs. And anyway, so I got to see how long this is. It's 22 minutes. It's long enough. It's going to take a long bloody time to upload. Well, it's online uploading. It's slow, so I'll just leave it on and let it upload. So, from deep space, the Rhino rocket girl, Klingon Baroness Carla P. Knesset Rothschild III Hutchison. He's gonna sign off. Go away now. Going now. Go now. Hi, doctor. My physician has a little doggy that's kind of cute. I call him Dog of the Earth, the secret helper. Just up the street. I got to like him. And he kind of sunned me up as a little kid. In a way like that. He's a pretty smart guy. So I got to like him now. And I don't spread my chops when I'm there. Okay, go. Signing off from deep space, the Rhino rocket, witch from hell.
Hi, you want to play Rhino Rocket?
It was this nose. It's like that. Within minutes, this ridiculous doctor didn't want to cauterize it with silver nitrate, which I was thinking I can get silver nitrate and do it myself. Snotty-nosed Johnny. Okay, here I go.